Oh yeah, Joplin. Yeah.
Which one was doing?
Joplin.
Which one? All?
Oh, just the first, just number one. Coming right out.
So sorry, I don't have the right music.
I wonder, it sounds like you might have a
This
different
one's
part or making something
It's the
up.
same arrangement, but in a different key.
Jeez. Oh no.
Yeah,
At least you caught
this
it.
is an F sharp.
Oops.
That was so confusing.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's program will begin momentarily. Please take a moment to silence all phones and electronic devices. Restrooms are located to the left of the stage on the terrace level. Please see an usher if you need any assistance during the program. In the event of an emergency, or if the building needs to be evacuated, please use the side exits located on either side of the auditorium. Thank you for your cooperation, and have a wonderful day.
Been a long time since I played this march. We're only doing the Sussex?
Sussex?
Oh, we're doing Sussex too? Sussex Smummers.
You want to do that one, or?
Sure, let's do it. I like this.
Music stand on the stage.
Before I announce when the students come in, so that you know when to start playing common circumstance. Pretty obvious, but I'll be standing there in front of the.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that'd be really music
case,
stand,
right?
got it.
We just say it wrong.
Welcome the graduates. And then on Saturday, there's like a moment where once the students are in, then there are a couple of more processions, like the senior delegation, blah, blah, blah. So we need to stop playing, but then I don't know if there should be something while they're processing. But we can think about that for a second.
Yeah, I mean, if you made an announcement that, you know, here comes this group.
Yeah, it's just that as long as somebody can see me there, so that if I wave to you, you stop popping at circumstance, then I make my announcement.
There might be a few bars.
That's totally fine. Yeah, as long as somebody's looking at me. Thank you.
You think we should skip this and go to something else?
You want to skip this one?
I think we should skip it just because it's like there's not a lot of time left. It's just kind of like filler.
We'll go to Holst already? Holst?
What's up?
Go straight to Holst.
Holst?
Okay.
Be a little bit more appropriate. Because we just got like 6 minutes, so. Kind of hate to end the Sussex Movers. Great piece. Christmas time. Graduation.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's program will begin momentarily. Please take a moment to silence all phones and electronic devices. Restrooms are located to the left of the stage on the terrace level. Please see an usher if you need any assistance during the program. In the event of an emergency, or if the building needs to be evacuated, please use the side exits located on either side of the auditorium. Thank you for your cooperation and have a wonderful day.
It's already 7:30.
Yeah, I think we just better wait.
You weren't be perfectly close.
It's starting to cool off though. It was a little warm in here.
Did you hear the horn at all?
It's 50 degrees.
Oh, remember that? Was that that was 3 years ago? Wasn't it? So it was Saturday morning. The Thursday
Yeah, I
night.
think it should be okay.
I like this Bob Circuit's so much better than the other used to be.
Trying to decide where I want to sit out.
Yeah, sometimes those quarter notes. Sometimes, yeah, those quarter notes, you gotta just take it. You can get by with the bass line.
Stop.
Yeah, one and a half hours. What are you complaining about?
Somebody gotta keep going.
I can see it. There's a music stand over there. See it? He'll come out to that. So I'll let you know. He's going all the way now. It's coming down. experience is better if we don't play one more thing. The audience is always amazing. I like.
Can't complain, it's not enough.
This is probably the smallest one, which is the artist band.
Yeah. The most dignified. I emailed a picture.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2022 candidates for master's and doctoral degrees from Niagara University. The ceremonial mace is an ancient symbol of authority that represents the corporal presence of the university. The Niagara University mace is hand-carved teak and features 4 engraved silver medallions representing the core values of the university and its mission. It is present at all solemn gatherings of the university, and it links us to over 400 years of the Vincentian heritage. The mace is being brought to the stage this evening by Associate Professor of School Psychology and Associate Dean of the College of Education, Dr. Lisa Kilinowski. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to recognize the faculty and the governing body of Niagara University. My name is Henrik Borgström. I'm a professor of French and the Associate Provost of Niagara University, and it is my distinct privilege to serve as the Master of Ceremonies at this year's commencement exercises. Please be seated. I am honored to share the stage this evening with members of the university's Board of Trustees wearing the honorary purple robes, Mr. Brian Crosby and Reverend Craig Pridgeon. Thank you for being with us tonight. Also, the members of the President's Administrative Cabinet, my distinguished faculty colleagues, the deans and associate deans of our 5 colleges, our eminent honorees, and of course, our esteemed President, Reverend James J. Marr, CM. This weekend, we will confer associates, bachelor's, master's and doctoral degrees and professional diplomas to more than 1,000 candidates here near our Lewiston campus and also at our campus in Ontario, Canada. May your memories of this evening serve as a lasting reminder of the time that you have spent with us being formed in the Catholic intellectual tradition and in the charism of our patron, St. Vincent de Paul. And may this evening's ceremonies inspire you to commit to a life of continuous learning, growth, and service to others. As our university operates on both sides of the border, it is our custom to perform the national anthems of both the United States and Canada. This evening, O Canada will be sung by Morgan Hilliker, and the Star-Spangled Banner will be sung by Alyssa Garmon. Both Morgan and Alyssa are graduating senior performance majors from our Department of Theater and Fine Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and the playing of the national anthems. Gentlemen, as a sign of respect, please remove your hats. The colors are presented by the Niagara University Purple Eagle Battalion of ROTC. After the anthems, please remain standing for the invocation given by Reverend Gregory Semeniuk, CM, University Chaplain, and for the land acknowledgement, read by Dr. Tamara Miner, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Father Semeniuk.
Just like to invite you just for a moment to use your imagination as I present a brief introduction to our prayer. Imagine that we're standing at the shore of Lake Galilee. It's so wide that you can't see across it. It's early morning, and exhausted fishermen come into port with their empty boats. Jesus spots them and asks, "Have you caught anything?" The response from Peter, the crew leader, "No, we have not caught anything." Then Jesus gets into Peter's boat and tells him, "Go out into deep waters and prepare yourself for a catch." Something in his Galilean heart tells him to trust and obey the call to give it another try. They row out into deep waters. They enter treacherous and murky waters beyond the safety of the shore. To their surprise, they encounter a great and miraculous catch. Pray with me. In your own tradition, as the Spirit of God moves you, we pray down God's blessings upon our graduates. Lord, we thank you for a calling that you have given each of us to enter into deep waters. Here at Niagara University, we have ventured out into uncertain waters of academic and professional development. Having worked hard, sometimes our efforts fell short of our expectations. We were not always sure of the outcome. Regardless, we heard your call to invest our talents with the hope of improving our skills and knowledge. Today, we stand before you filled with wonder for your many gifts. We acknowledge the gifts received during our time at Niagara University, the gift of confidence, clarity, and purpose. We are grateful for the growth of our sustained investment. With the guidance of our professors, parents, and guardians, we have brought in a bountiful catch. We are also thank you for our experience of the Vincentian charism. The virtues of service and respect for the God-given dignity of every person have guided our development. We see the positive impact of a virtuous life upon family and community. We as graduates and faculty, all those gathered here, promise to share the fruits of our value-based Catholic education in the service of God and country. Finally, grant us a spirit of gratitude for our successful completion of our graduate degrees. May our celebration of this day with our family, friends, teachers, and the entire Niagara University community fill our hearts with joy. I make this prayer in the name of Jesus, my Lord, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, God forever and ever. Amen.
Dr. Miner.
Good evening. We ask you to join the Niagara University family in acknowledging that today we are privileged to gather on the lands of the Seneca and Tuscarora nations and other indigenous communities who have stewarded this land throughout generations. We honor their sovereignty, demonstrate respect, and correct the stories and practices that have erased indigenous peoples' history and culture by inviting and honoring truth. As a university striving for inclusive excellence, we believe that truth and recognition are critical components to building connections across all barriers of heritage and differences. We offer land acknowledgement as part of the conscious effort to affirm our commitment to be better stewards of the land on which we stand and to pledge to work in partnership with a spirit of mutual respect and collaboration. Niagara University appreciates and regards the traditions of our community's diverse cultures. Thank you.
Thank you, Morgan, Alyssa, Father Semeniuk, and Dr. Miner. Please be seated. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a French professor, and commencement is a French word, meaning beginning. I would like to take a moment to recognize one of my colleagues who is embarking on a different kind of beginning as she is retiring from the university after dedicating many years to the lives and minds of our students. Professor Susan Rainish, Faculty Fellow in Education and Professional Studies. On behalf of the entire Niagara University community, thank you for all that you have contributed, and may the years ahead bring many blessings. Dear friends, it is customary during convocations such as this to honor persons whose extraordinary achievements set them apart as role models for all students whom Niagara University graduates on this day. The Niagara University Caritas Medal recognizes an individual whose life exemplifies the boundless charity of our patron, St. Vincent de Paul. This year's recipient of the Caritas Medal is Ms. Elizabeth Corrieri. The citation will be read by Associate Professor of Education, Dr. Hawa Hamza. Principal Corrieri, please join Father Mar at the front of the stage.
Good evening. After founding, along with her friend Vincent de Paul, the Company of the Daughters of Charity in 1633, Louise de Marillac dedicated herself to the education of youth, whereas the majority of religious congregations in France at this time aimed their educational mission onto wealthy urban populations, Louise focused her attention on children in need, especially in rural areas. As Vincent de Paul wrote to the sisters in 1641, "You have given yourselves to God for the service of the poor and the instruction of youth, particularly in country areas." Our honoree this evening, Elizabeth Corrieri, has followed a similar path and embraced a similar mission, having spent over 3 decades as an educator and head administrator of the Tuscarora Indian School, part of the Niagara-Whitfield Central School District. Ms. Corrieri earned her Bachelor of Science degree in Education at Buffalo State College and her Master's degree in Education Administration and Supervision at Niagara University. She started her career at the Military Road School, then spent 1 year at Colonial Village School before she accepted a teaching position at the Tuscarora School in 1992. 6 years later, she was appointed principal, a position she continues to hold today. Under Principal Corrieri's leadership, the Tuscarora School has created a dynamic after-school study club and an evening skills class for middle and high school students and members of the community. The school now also offers a summer program for children, pre-kindergarten through high school, with free transportation. Corrieri has also overseen the hire of a dedicated homeschool liaison and the creation of the Tuscarora School newsroom, where students gain hands-on experience in media and communication. Recognizing the essential need for technology, especially in underserved populations, Corrieri ensured that smart boards be installed in every classroom and that every 4th, 5th, and 6th grader at the school have their own laptop. Her most recent and possibly most creative initiative has been the creation of an early morning voluntary yoga class at the school, where 1 day per week she leads upward of 24 elementary and middle school students in best practices of mindful breathing, stretching, and mental grounding. In a message to parents, Principal Corrieri wrote, "Our school has a warm, caring environment where students from a proud heritage are encouraged to work hard to become competent, caring, independent learners while maintaining their strong connection to language, culture, and the history of the Tuscarora Nation." Corrieri's dedication to her students is well known among her peers. Last year, she was named Educational Leader of the Year by the Niagara University College of Education. In recognition of Elizabeth Corrieri's extraordinary commitment to educating young people, in the spirit of Vincent de Paul and Louise de Marillac, we are proud to bestow upon her the Niagara University Caritas Medal.
Thank you, Dr. Hamza, and congratulations, Ms. Corrieri, on this well-deserved recognition. A very special way that the university shows its respect and affection for an individual is by conferring an honorary degree, designated in Latin as honoris causa, meaning for the sake of honor. This is a privilege granted by the Board of Trustees after careful consideration of each candidate. This evening's honorary degree will be presented by Niagara University's president, the Reverend James J. Marr, CM. Assisting him is the university's provost and vice president of academic affairs, Dr. Timothy Ireland. This evening's honoree is internationally recognized economist, teacher, and author, Dr. R. Glenn Hubbard. The citation will be read by Associate Professor of Finance and Economics and Associate Dean of the Holschuh College of Business, Dr. Christine Principe. Dr. Hubbard, please join Father Marr in front of the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Bordstrom. More than simple charity, St. Vincent de Paul dedicated his life to building educational systems to lift individuals out of poverty, a charge that remains the core of Niagara University's mission. As a distinguished scholar, administrator, teacher, and public servant, our honoree this evening, Dr. R. Glenn Hubbard, has upheld a similar commitment to those at the margins of the global economy. Growth is good, Hubbard writes, but disruption creates winners and losers and a demand for adaptation, and it is the duty of society's leaders to help those who have been displaced by technological advances and globalization to regain the ability to compete. An economist by profession, Dr. Hubbard has had a distinguished career both in government and academia and has been a top-level consultant to many of America's leading financial institutions. He earned his doctorate at Harvard University in 1983 and has been a professor of economics and finance at Columbia University since 1988 and served as the dean of the Columbia Business School for 15 years until 2019. From 1991 to 1993, he was named Deputy Assistant Secretary at the U.S. Department of the Treasury, and from 2001 until 2003, he was the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors under President George W. Bush. Dr. Hubbard is the author of several books and numerous articles on both domestic and international economics and politics. He has also been a frequent guest and contributor to such shows such as Marketplace and Nightly Business Report and popular magazines such as Business Week. Although Dr. Hubbard is a firm believer in the essential wisdom and fairness of a market economy, his most recent book, The Wall and the Bridge, demonstrates his deep concern about the disruption of livelihoods, industries, and communities caused by technological advances and a globalized economy, including the lack of appropriate training opportunities for the working poor. Dr. Hubbard's awards for both scholarship and service have been numerous, including recognitions from the White House and the United States Treasury Department. In 2012, Bloomberg Markets named Hubbard as one of the 50 most influential members of the global financial community. Among his known contributions to his community, Dr. Hubbard, a former Eagle Scout himself, has devoted considerable time and resources to the Manhattan Boy Scouts of America and the Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church. In recognition of Glenn Hubbard's extraordinary service to government and academia and his keen observation of both the gains and the deficits of the global economy, we are proud to bestow upon him, honoris causa, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you, Dr. Principe, and congratulations, Dr. Hubbard. Now, if you will kindly take the podium, it is my pleasure to invite you to deliver this evening's commencement address.
Well, good evening, everyone, and I know what you're thinking. You're about to hear from an economist, and you're thinking, uh-oh, what's this going to be about? Please know that events like this are effusive in congratulations. They are modest in length for remarks and contain a message that hopefully hooks. So congratulations to you, first and foremost, Niagara University class of 2022. I'm certainly honored to be with you today. I join your families, your friends, your professors in being proud of you and what lies ahead for you. And I'd like for graduates, if you would, take a moment to give a round of applause for your professors, your family, your friends who are with you tonight. Our moderator already anticipated something I would open with as well, that it's commonly said that today you graduate, but I like to think of special days like this with the more traditional word of commencement, because it does refer explicitly to beginnings, your career, and also new steps on life's journey. Now, I know that thematically you are committed to inclusion, and I salute you for that. And what I want to do today is just speak with you briefly about a vital element of inclusion for our society, our democracy, and our flourishing, and that's economic inclusion. Now, to begin, I should note for you that my wife divides humanity into two groups of people: economists and real people. Now, I am an economist, you see, and I suspect most of you are real people. But I'll bet economics is your favorite subject. I can see it in your faces, so I want to think about it with you a little bit tonight. While graduates today face a world of both opportunities and challenges, near the top of the opportunity list is what economists somewhat boringly call productivity growth. That is, how much are we going to get out for what we're putting in? That little elixir is what gives us increases in our living standards and the funding of the many things the graduates' generation and mine will need from our economy, from education, research, and defense, to social safety nets and environmental protection. And accomplishing those goals requires growth. But I have a secret for you. Growth in your better future are not made up the way econ textbooks sometimes tell you they are, of linear, easy steps of progress. You see, growth is disruptive. It is really like a coin with two sides. You cannot have and celebrate growth as the heads of a coin we love without understanding disruption to the lives and livelihoods and communities of many of us as the tails of the same coin. You see it in the lives and the communities of many of our fellow Americans. You need to see it. In our day, and for the future of our graduates, technological change, like new gadgets and communication, and shifts in globalization, that is, trade across borders, remain key forces that will improve our well-being on average. But the words "on average" can and often do mean much larger gains for some and losses for others and their communities. Now, the fortunate position of our graduates in this commencement ceremony today likely places them among the gainers. Good for you. But social support requires all of us to be all in. And I mean that in two senses of the word: all in that you can succeed at your choices, but also that we're all in the boat together on the economy's possibilities. Now, the fact that there are losses as well as gains from change and disruption does not mean that we should avoid growth and openness to advances. In fact, our very economic futures are in peril if we do that. Don't believe anyone who tells you otherwise. But we do need to notice gains and losses and commit to an economy of mass flourishing in which everyone can participate. That goal is the productivity of the familiar wealth of a nation, drilled into those of us who study economics in Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations. Published in 1776, Smith had a radical idea that the wealth of a nation isn't gold and silver or a king's palaces. It's the ability of average people in a country to consume and to flourish. But it's also, in addition to that idea, the all-in moral empathy of Smith, again in economics, in the theory of moral sentiments, published before The Wealth of Nations. Those sentiments of the power of the economy, but the need for empathy and being all in, both from Smith, are our right and our responsibility. Enlightenment thinkers' guidance for an all-in society, and what my colleague Ned Phelps, a Nobel Prize winner, calls mass flourishing, is helpful. But what is required of us today is to make it happen. Now, there are two steps. The first step is to notice. Being all in means that all of us, every community that's part of our seeing, whether we are citizens, workers, business leaders, or policymakers, is fully participating in the economy. To my mind as an economist, the best question in studying the financial crisis that we saw in the 2008 period was not asked by an economist, it was actually asked by the Queen of England. She was at an event at the London School of Economics, and she looked at a group of economics worthies and asked a disarming question: why did nobody see it coming? Now, I don't know that the Queen had much formal training in economics. I'm sure she had a handbag and pearls and was dressed for the occasion, but her question, I'm sure, put people ill at ease. On the one hand, I could give you an econ speak complicated answer to the Queen's question. I'm sure the faculty there did. But on the other hand, the answer is pretty simple. Economists just weren't noticing. They weren't noticing developments in financial markets and in corporate finance happening right in front of them. Why? Because they weren't looking. They didn't notice. Noticing, are we noticing? Now, second step, important though it is, to notice something isn't sufficient. Mass flourishing, like the classical thinkers thought, should be our goal, and it requires that we commit to it. And committing means leaving no one behind. Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Mother, made her commitment clear when she said in the teeth of the Nazi bombardment of London that her place was not in a palace far away, but with everyone else. She said on the radio, "The children won't go without me. I won't go without the king, and the king will never leave you." In the early days of the vicious Ukraine war, Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky rallied the West and his own beleaguered nation with his now famous declaration, "I need ammunition, not a ride." Commitment. Are we committed? What does it mean to be committed to an inclusive economy and an inclusive society? You see, being all in does require action. It does require ammunition, not a ride. More Americans need to be prepared for the work of today and tomorrow, not for nostalgia. We should think hard as a society, as an economy, and as institutions about education and training, like the mission here. Community colleges, four-year universities, all aspects of higher education marshaled because we need all of the talents and energies around us. All of us, whether we sit in a university or not, have a role in pushing that agenda for preparation on the to-do list of sometimes distracted business leaders and often distracted political leaders. But preparation needs to be matched by reconnection. When technology or globalization disrupt lives and communities, we need to reconnect people and places. Supporting work and helping communities get back on their feet and look forward are essential. They are not a nice to have, they are a must have as an element of a just society and an all-in society, and they won't happen without our efforts. But I know what you graduates, and perhaps all of us are thinking, now disruptive changes pan out on average, so we're good. That's true on average. And you're thinking, well, they're working for me. That's also likely true. Or you might be thinking, I'm too busy starting my career to get involved. No, you're not. Our wonderful economic system was not handed down on tablets. It requires social support, which is just a fancy way of saying us. And it turns out that our very democracy depends on that support too. An all-in economy with mass flourishing benefits all of us, but it also needs all of us. Why should we lean in? It's simple. To whom much is given, much will be required. And that leaning in makes us stronger. We should be optimistic when we do that. The headlines in today's papers are all about inflation or stock market woes, but the body that should carry our graduates forward tonight and forward remains growth and opportunity like it always has. They are important, not just in isolation, but for the accomplishments you, graduates, will help bring to all of us. So congratulations again, class of 2022. To you, much has been given. Your hours of study have paid off now. Celebrate today. I'm 100% confident you're going to do that. Then don't forget your flourishing and mass flourishing. You see, the eyes of your friends and family here with you tonight are not on the change jingling in your pocket after commencement. They're about the change you're going to make in the world. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hubbard, for your remarks and your insight. And now, the culmination of our ceremony, the Conferral of Degrees. Before we begin, a few administrative details. Professional photographs will be taken of all candidates as they receive their degree from Father Mar, and proofs will be mailed to respective families. In the interest of order and safety, and for the simple courtesy of not blocking other people's view, we ask family and friends of the graduates to remain in your seats and not to approach the stage to take pictures. And graduates, out of respect for your fellow classmates, after you receive your degree, please return to your seat and remain seated until the end of the ceremony. All degree candidates, please rise. Reverend President, I have the honor to present to you all candidates from the graduate programs in the College of Arts and Sciences, the Horseshoe College of Business Administration, the College of Education, and the College of Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism Management, who have fulfilled every requirement for their respective degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, with the approval of the Board of Trustees of Niagara University, I hereby confer the appropriate degrees to these candidates and bestow on them all rights and privileges therein. Congratulations.
Graduates, as a symbol of your new status, please move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left side. Master's degree candidates, please secure your hood, and you may help your neighbor. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated. We will now confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Leadership and Policy. Assisting Father Marr with the hooding is each candidate's doctoral advisor. I invite the Dean of the College of Education, Dr. Chandra Foote, to present this year's doctoral candidates.
Very Reverend President Father Marr and distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the university faculty across the disciplines of study in the doctoral program, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Leadership and Policy. The first degree we will confer this evening warrants some special attention. George Ferrara completed his course of study for the doctoral degree in Leadership and Policy. Sadly, George passed away before he was able to defend his dissertation. We will therefore present his degree posthumously to his wife, Carol. Mrs. Ferrara, will you kindly accept the Niagara University doctoral degree on behalf of your husband?
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
Omar Salah Al-Humadi. His dissertation, The Impact of Macroeconomics Indicators on the Financial Performance of the Banking Sector in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. His dissertation chair, Dr. Walter Polka. Congratulations, Dr. Al-Humadi. Kanesha Lauren Nafa Blue. Her dissertation, A Phenomenological Examination of the Impact of New York State Criminal Sealing Law on Previously Incarcerated Individuals. Her dissertation chair, Dr. Walter Polka. Congratulations, Dr. Blue. Dr. Blue. Anna DeAngelis. Her dissertation, Measurement of Clinical Compassion in Nursing Students. Her dissertation chair, Dr. Francis Crosby. Congratulations, Dr. DeAngelis. Errol Anthony Douglas. His dissertation, Recruitment and Retention Through Corporate Social Responsibility, a study of Gen X and millennial employees in New York State. His dissertation chair, Dr. Roberto Leone. Congratulations, Dr. Douglas. Jeff Fila, dissertation, Sense-Making and Acts of Leadership During a Crisis. Dissertation chair, Dr. Roberto Leone. Congratulations, Dr. Fila. Michelle Marie Grimes, dissertation, Managing Work-Home Conflict During COVID-19, a phenomenological study of female mid-level college leaders. Dissertation chair, Dr. Roberto Leone. Michelle is the recipient of the Outstanding Doctoral Student in Leadership and Policy. Congratulations, Dr. Grimes.
Caitlin Marguerite Hiskis. Dissertation, Mending the Broken STEM Pipeline Through Support Networks, Helping Women to be Future Leaders in Engineering. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Walter Polka. Caitlin is the recipient of the Reverend Dr. Stephen J. Denig CM Memorial Award for Doctoral Research. Congratulations, Dr. Hiskis. Janelle King, dissertation, Mending the Broken STEM Pipeline Through Support Networks, Helping Women to be Future Leaders in Engineering. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Walter Polka. Janelle is also the recipient of the Reverend Dr. Stephen J. Denig CM Memorial Award for Doctoral Research. Congratulations, Dr. King. Peter Richard Ozag, dissertation, Agglomeration Economies and Government's Role. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Roberto Leone. Congratulations, Dr. Ozag. Janatul Rafia Tracy. Dissertation, Delusional Justification, a Phenomenological Study of Managers' Use of Neutralization Techniques, Coping Strategies, and Moral Disengagement Mechanisms to Justify and Rationalize Their Mistreatment Towards Their Subordinates. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Walter Polka. Congratulations, Dr. Rafia Tracy. Joanna Roberto. Dissertation, Implementing 6 Turnaround Leadership Strategies to Promote Change and Enhance Student Achievement in Focus Schools, Low Socioeconomic Status SES Schools. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Walter S. Polka. Congratulations, Dr. Roberto. This concludes the conferral of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Leadership and Policy.
Thank you, Dr. Foote, and congratulations, Niagara University's newest doctors. We will now continue with the conferral of master's degrees. Degree candidates, please approach the stage. I invite Dean Peter Butera to present the master's candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Very Reverend President, Father Marr, and distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of my faculty colleagues, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Arts and Sciences. Receiving a Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. Thank you. Arlene A. Downer. Keishin Lee, recipient of the Best Capstone Award. Mary Helen Miscally. Receiving the Master of Science in Criminal Justice Administration, Jordan Alexis Carcelli. Anthony John Colson. Jennifer S. Francis. Kelsey Rose Harrigan. Haley Jenna Kubinik, recipient of the J. Albanese Award for Outstanding Graduate Student in Criminal Justice Administration and Excellence in Research. Nicole Lauren Perry. Stephanie Christine Stanton. Receiving a Master of Science in Information Security and Digital Forensics, Mariano M. Balden. Gregory J. Bremer. Nicholas Carruthers. Patrick R. Norris. Joshua Paul Rucci. Angelina Brianna Saula. Sierra Rose Tabinis. Slightly out of sequence, but we're back in business. Receiving the master's degree in criminal justice administration. Oh, Father Marr, this concludes the conferral of master's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Butera. I invite Dean Mark Frascatore to present the master's candidates from the Horseshoe College of Business Administration.
Very Reverend President, Father Marr, and distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of my faculty colleagues, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for master's degree in the Horseshoe College of Business Administration. Receiving the Master of Business Administration, Heriberto Acevedo Soto, Jr. Christian Kaylee Elizabeth Agnew. Amnia Abdulaziz Al-Ghani. Arwa Saeed Abdallah Batia. Ali Rose Belanca. Kevin P. Belzo. Jackson Breen Bennett. Alexis Nicole Bumy. Evan M. Cody. Melanie Conroy. Justina Julianne Conti. Casey DeLong. Reese Michael Gouldrick. Avery Ann Fisher. Grace Christine Hederscheit. Lindsay Beth Hoke. William James Hughes. Thomas Gordon Johnston. This diploma is presented to Thomas by his mother, Tina Johnston. Oh. Julia Emma Gelman. Marianthe Margarita Cathalos. Alexis A. Kraus. Brianna Christine Mail. Is your father here tonight? Elizabeth Grace Menente. Nicholas John Marcello. Jason E. Marin. Brooke Aaron McNamara. Jaden Marie Hoyt. Elaine Marie Moyer. Aaron J. Murphy. Rafael Resende Fritas. J.C.N. Roberts. Ana Daviele Romero. Marie L. Salada. David R. S. Saunders. Yvonne Angelica Sherry. Emma Shemu. Aaron M. Singleton. Kyle Robert Smith. Paul Anthony Swartz. Joshua Richard Tufino. Renu Verma. Margaret J. Vesneski. James Christian Walters. Hannah Emily Witt. Dylan Michael Zutel. And receiving the Master of Science in Finance, Emma Catherine Bagnato. Emma is the recipient of the 2022 Kevin Malkin Award. Michael Wesley Corson Jr. Jacob Timothy Krantz. Matthew Alexander Krokomoller. Cassandra Siwi. This concludes the conferral of master's degrees from the Holschuh College of Business Administration.
Thank you, Dr. Frascator. I once again invite Dean Chandrafoot to present the graduate candidates from the College of Education.
Very Reverend President, Father Marr, and distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of my faculty colleagues, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the graduate degrees in the College of Education. For the Master of Science in Clinical Mental Health Counseling, Kalia Burris. Autumn Emily Kahn. Danelle A. Drayton. Jenna Marie Fiallo. Shanair Mehta. Kayla C. O'Brien. Alexis M. Pena. Elise Rosado. Alexis Crescent Schaefer. Alexis is the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Student in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. Natasha Bina Siram. Taylor Valerie Thompson. Kimberly Elizabeth Van Yu. For the Master of Science and Professional Diploma in School Psychology, Danielle Colon. Christine Marie Gillis. Kaylee Jordan. Ivana Elise Perez. Christian Reinisch. Christian's diploma is being presented to him by his mother, Susan Reinisch. Bailey Marie Tarnowski. Bailey is the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Student in School Psychology. Elizabeth Yak. John Anthony Yacovel. Connor J. Ziegler. For the Master of Science in Education and School Counseling, Steph May Morlock. Isabella P. Smith. Isabella's diploma is being presented to her by her uncle, Rocco Surace. Melissa Lynn Snyder. Victoria Wagaman. Tanner Woodruff. Tanner is the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Student in School Counseling. The Master of Science in Education, School Building, School District Leader. Stephanie Burkhold. Stephanie is the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Student in Educational Leadership. Selena Rose Borick. Nicole Leslie. Camille Marie Pontrello. Gloria Elizabeth Waters. For the Master of Science in Education, Literacy Instruction, Birth to 6 and grades 5 to 12, Victoria Lee Kuteria. Sarah Elizabeth Godowski. Sarah's diploma is being presented to her by her mother, Maria Frosini Godowski. Rachel Emily O'Brien. Jasmine Plummer. For the Master of Science in Education, Literacy and English Language Learners, Caitlin Amber Rockfeld. Caitlin is the recipient of the Outstanding Student in Advanced Teacher Education. Caroline E. Yarnell. For the Master of Science in Education, Early Childhood, Special Education, Birth to Grades 2, and Special Education, Grades 1 to 6 and 7 to 12, Abigail N. Bradshaw. Abigail's diploma is being presented to her by her mother, Christina Bradshaw. Alexandra Haley Bradshaw. Catherine Burnett. J.C. Lee Dietz. Rebecca D. Dillon. Jennifer Dubois. Maren McMahon. Heather Brooke Robinson. Allison A. Staub. Emily K. Torres. Alexandria White. For the Master of Science in Education, teaching English to speakers of other languages, PK to grade 12, Jessica Sherry Portlands. For the Master of Science in Education, Early Childhood and Childhood Education, birth to grade 6, Salwa Alush. Magdalena Ana Alves. Danielle Marie Boss. Danielle is the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Student in Initial Teacher Education. Lisa Hermina Braderick. Elodie Brunel. Caitlin Collins. Kayla Marks Costa. Rachel Catherine DeBon. Serena Della Monica. Jessica Sarah Alice Edwards. Michelle D. Gamma. Natalie Janine Geerlinks. Alice Gillespie. Lindsay Getz. Susan Antonetta Guglielmi. Stephen Haynes. Caroline Elizabeth Howcroft. Hani Elise Ismail. Rosie S. Jagelnick. Jamil Jeremiah Husan. Martina Kalapaka. Elise Nicole Kramer. Michelle Emily Ann Lawrence. Victoria E. Maz. Olivia R. Mador. Stephen John Masick. Benjamin McClellan. Emily Kate Mestek. Nadia Norducci. Sharon C. Parmer. Brittany Porten. Emily M. Reagan. Catherine Ann Rubenacker. Caroline E. Sampson. Vanessa C. Singletary. Patricia Bridie Struban. Lauren Suk. Heather Susan Thompson. Lee Elizabeth Truant. Carrie L. Tutka. Carrie's diploma is being presented to her by her husband, Dr. Patrick Tutka. For the Master of Science in Education, Middle Childhood and Adolescence Education, grades 5 to 12, Rachel Rozakis Adcock. Miranda Argona. Lucien Edward Brodeur. Renee Suzanne Castillo. Riley Lynn Cousins. Elena Davis Givens. Sarah M. Flesher. Zachary William Harris. Sarah L. Kerr. Joshua Robert Clausen. Victoria Loop. Jeffrey Tyler Maytash. Michelle Paternastro. Orville Ray. Joshua Alexander Schaefer. Jenna Elizabeth Schlosser. Sierra Amelia Spink. For the Master of Science in Education, Theater Education, P12, Jill Marie Anderson. Elizabeth Gabrielle Baker. I don't have any card for that. Oop. Need a new. Father Marr, this concludes the conferral of graduate degrees from the College of Education.
Thank you again, Dr. Foote. I invite Dean Bridget Nyland to present the master's candidates from the College of Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism Management.
Very Reverend President Father Marr and distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of all of my colleagues, faculty colleagues, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism Management. Elizabeth Gabriel Baker. What's your name? William John Boyle. Rauda Hamande. Christopher Adam Harper. Chris is the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Student in the Masters of Science in Sport Management Award. Nora Elizabeth Klenowski. Andrew S. Snaith. And Spencer Subota. This concludes the conferrals of master's degree from the College of Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism Management.
Thank you, Dr. Nyland. Please join me once again in recognizing the newest graduating class with their master's degrees and professional diplomas from Niagara University. Congratulations. Each year, we invite one of our newest graduates to address their peers in an expression of gratitude. I invite 2022 MBA graduate, Mr. Joshua Tufino, to speak to the class.
Thank you, Dr. Borgstrom, Father Marr, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, families, and friends. I'm truly honored to be your student speaker for the graduate class of 2022. I would like to first congratulate the graduates for being here, as this is a very big moment in our lives, and for some of us, a big transition to the next chapter in our careers. Can we also give praise to the friends and family who have come here today to support us, as some of you have traveled across the country and even across continents just to be here in this moment. I would like to say thank you to my classmates and to all my professors who have given me this opportunity to speak in front of everyone and tell you a little bit about myself and my experience here at Niagara. I still remember in 2016 walking onto this university as a young, immature, oblivious boy. Now I can finally say I am walking out of this university 6 years later as an older, immature, oblivious boy. But in seriousness, that first semester, I had only one thing on my mind, and it had little to do with academics. As a member of NU's Division I soccer team, all I wanted to do was to play the very best of my ability on the pitch so that after a few years, I would be drafted by the pros. After all, this is a dream of many international students who are recruited to play at an American university. It took me a few years, well, more like 6, but I realized that life isn't so black and white, and just like in soccer, you're not going to win every game you play. In 2017, my best friend passed away. From 2018 to 2019, I had several injuries that included a bone contusion, pulled hip flexor, and a sports hernia that had sidelined me for a year and a half. Last year, I contracted COVID and was unable to play for 5 months due to some long-term effects, and on top of that, I fractured my wrist. Throughout all these hardships, I found myself disappointed, ashamed, and angry at life for not going the way I expected. I was so obsessed with myself and blamed the world when things didn't happen according to my personal plan. When I stepped off the path, I lost my way, and all I could see was that I was not going to be the person that I wanted to be, and that all my hopes and dreams had come to an end. But it is in our darkest moments that we find the strongest blessings. Every single hardship I faced opened an unexpected door, one that I could have easily shut closed in anger, but instead, I stepped into it for an opportunity to explore another identity, to challenge myself mentally, and to see, am I really just the person I thought I was going to be? Now, the truth is, if I hadn't lost my best friend, I probably would have never truly understood the value of friendship and the importance of taking care of one another. If I had not contracted COVID, I'd probably never have realized the amount of support and love I have from my family and friends. If I had not been injured, not only would I not be here today, but also I would probably not have fully appreciated the opportunity that was given to me to play at a sport I love, at a school I value, with people who care about me. All of this made me realize that I am more than what I thought I ever could be. And because of this, and because of Niagara, I was honored to be named captain for Niagara Soccer for 2 years while we were having our best 2 seasons since 2012. I'm also proud to be the founder and co-president of SACA, the Student Athlete of Color Alliance, which focused on creating an impact and a bridge between student athletes and the community within and outside the university. I was able to be part of the leadership program in the International Relations Office, which helped me develop as a leader and opened me up to so many different people and cultures. And of course, without all this, I wouldn't be DJ Tuffy, the school DJ. All these amazing things happened to me not because I was the strongest person, but because I had great fortune to be surrounded by generous, giving people who helped me when I was at my weakest. Thank you to my parents, my sisters, and my twin brother who have gone day in and day out supporting me and never dictating to me what I can or cannot do. But family is not limited to parents and siblings. Family is not a relationship bound by blood, but also by shared strength and love. My family includes my team, my coaches, and my friends. You have all given me the confidence and love that has made me reach places I thought wasn't possible. You have pushed me to be the best and not to settle for anything less than what I deserve. Before I conclude, a quick shout out to Kelly Askalar, who guided me and numerous other athletes along the best possible path, and to Ted and Katie from the International Relations Office, who made my last year truly meaningful. And if you don't mind, I will leave you with a quick sport metaphor. In a game of soccer, like in life, there will always be times when you get scored on, when you may think the game is over, and that the deficit is too much to overcome. But with faith, support, and courage, there will never be a loss that you cannot overcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. It's been a true pleasure getting to know you these past couple of weeks and working with you, so thank you very much. I would now like to recognize some of the people who contributed to make tonight's ceremonies a success. Our fearless commencement marshal, Brother Martin Schneider, CM, for meeting the countless challenges of staging this event. Serving as Associate Marshal for Students and Faculty, Dr. Vincent Agnello, Professor of Business Law. Michael Jeswald and Sue Sarakowski from the University's Center of Conferences and Events. I practiced that one too. Associate Registrar Elizabeth Broomfield and Mary Sander from the Office of Academic Affairs. The staff of the university's IT department and our friends from BAV Services for running the technology. The members of the Niagara Frontier Brass Quintet, and accessibility provided by our American Sign Language interpreters through Service Bridges. Before we conclude the ceremony this evening, it is with great honor that I invite the 26th President of Niagara University, Reverend James J. Marr, CM, to come forward and offer some closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Borgstrom. Very briefly, I thank our honorees this evening. First, Dr. Hubbard, thank you for your commencement address, so thoughtfully and well delivered. Thank you for being with us. We're incredibly grateful to have benefited from your wisdom, your scholarly works, but most of all, your profound and your practical belief in the impact of economic policy, and a deep and abiding belief that we can impact the lives of middle Americans and those who live on the margins of life by the decisions we make as an economy. Thank you for challenging us. Thank you for your message, and we go forth with great gratitude. Thank you very much. I thank Elizabeth Corriere. We are incredibly proud of you as our graduate. You have taken the Vincentian mission to heart in the Tuscarora community, combining specialized study for young students, summer education, technology, yoga, meditation, holistic education, helping children on the margins of life to develop holistically and to become their best selves. What a great gift you have given to our community. Thank you very much. I thank our faculty who are here tonight. These have been incredibly challenging times for all of us, but in a university context, for the faculty and the students, perhaps the most challenging. Having to go online, having to come back offline, having to go online and hybrid. I thank our faculty, and I ask you to recognize our faculty for their incredibly scholarly service to our students, to our university community. They are scholar teachers. Thank you very much. And to you, the graduates, you made it. Someday, you will say to your children who sit in these seats, I overcame a global pandemic. What can you do? You did it with grit, with faith, with determination. You overcame a massive disruption in the workplace, in your family lives, in your education, in places that we all took for granted. And you did it through your resiliency. Learn that lesson of life. When the trials and the tribulations come your way, you have overcome among the greatest trials and tribulations in graduating from Niagara University. We are incredibly proud. We send you forth ready for the world, blessed. We love you as our graduates, and we are so incredibly proud. Go forth as the power of Niagara University.
Thank you, Father, for your thoughtful remarks and, as always, for your steadfast leadership and inspired vision. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Graduates, the faculty marshals will guide you out of the theater. Friends and family, please remain at your seats until all the students have processed out. I declare the graduate commencement exercises of the Niagara University College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business Administration, College of Education, and College of Hospitality, Sport, and Tourism Management officially closed. Good night.
Thank you.